Beginning, this is a video that I got from Alibai, and I took it and I reorganized it so I could pay attention to certain things. Like I put the year, which is now 44,000 BCE, and I put it next to humans reach Australia. Now we can't see Australia because I cut that part out. Early stoneworking in Europe, Aurignacian culture, Baradastian culture, and as you can see, I'll stop it for a second. You have a bunch of shorelines that have changed. Like around England, you can see that the place that used to be called Dodgerland, or Dogger, I think it's Dodger, that would have been about here, and that was covered by water. And there was something way up here that was covered by water, but we that anomaly up there, maybe you don't know about it, but that would be when it was a little bit lower. So this must have been empty. And as you can see, this land was connected to Europe. Also, if you go down here, you can see where the Tigris and Euphrates River comes out. It was all the way down here. So when you see this weird area that's cut out, that means, of course, you can estimate that there was a complete area that, like, for example, if they could get down in there, they might find something more. And later on, when it recedes, you'll see that Sumer's here. That's the first. Where are we now? 26,000. I want to show you the years that the mainstream history pulls back those seas. So 23, 22, 21. Okay, there we go. We see a change in cultures. By the way, we're looking at down here, Embryonic Civilization. So these are embryonic civilizations right now. You've got Homo sapiens, which you still see up here, the white. That's all Homo sapien, presumably. Down in Africa, you can see some of the white still. And of course, North America and South America, according to mainstream history, are mainly white, from Homo sapiens only. No advanced cultures. Advanced culture... Okay, actually, I'm sorry, I made a mistake. So the advanced culture is the Solutrean and the Gravettian and the Baradosian cultures. Those are the advanced culture. Down in the embryonic civilization will show up. That's going to be Egypt and Sumer. And later, the advanced civilizations. Okay, what happened just now? I'm going to go back because I kind of messed it up, right? But you can see that and not all of them, look up in England. You don't see that land receding, but you do see it down here. And over here, we don't see any changes at all in the Mediterranean. So it's all very confusing why certain areas of the earth had an increase in shorelines, or a rise in sea levels. It's 18,000 BCE. Let's go to the next one. There's the next one. You can see that there wasn't any change. 16,000 still. Okay, so now we have a change in the civilization. It used to be white, right? But now it's actually the advanced culture. So it's an advanced culture all over Dodgerland, England, Ireland, over here at the tip of, is that Sweden? Now let's go to 15. Okay, so there you go. Now you have a little bit of receding with that area. And now this whole area in Europe is called the Magdalenian. And down here, where Sumer will be, is called Zarzian. And that's an advanced culture. So we haven't even gotten to the advanced civilizations yet. That won't happen for a long time. This actually speeds up for Alibai, not me. And you can see here in the society and culture, you see certain humans reach the Americas, 15,000 BC. So basically they're trying to imply that humans reach the Americas across the land bridge. That's what they're trying to say. And I mean up in Africa. So now we can see some changes already again. Italy is now the former Gravettian culture. They moved down there. Over here you can see the Kibarin Cultures. This is 14,000 BCE. Okay, so we're talking about 16,000 years ago. Now, one of the things is that I do believe that there were floods before 12,900 years ago. probably about then, that's when all these cultures were totally erased. Okay, here we are, next 13,000. Next is 11. We have Swiderian. Okay, so we can see the changes now. North Africa has an advanced culture. Now you can see Fayum. So Egypt, while it hadn't become an advanced civilization or even an embryonic civilization yet, Fayum was there, and there is a city of Fayum still. So that culture was technically, you could call that the beginning of Egypt, in my opinion, because people were living there. 9,000 BCE. 9,000 BCE is after the floods. If you want to add it up, you can go to about 10,000 BCE to get to the flood era. And of course, there was about 1,000 years of buffer zone there. I've got to figure that stuff out. I wish that I had better resources for that. I'm going to give it another try by myself soon. But I think that if you go back 12,900 years, you're going to see the start of some catastrophic and cataclysmic events. And then after those things, and I'm talking about asteroid hits, if you know me, you know where I think one of those asteroid hits were. And then after that's all calmed down, and then Africa slowly became a desert, you see a lot of changes here that are not reflected in the mainstream history, in my opinion. 9,000 BCE would be about the other side of the cataclysmic era. And there's a lot of different words that I should be using. Holocene era, the beginning of the Holocene era. I think that's the number we're looking for. I could be wrong if it's not Holocene. It's the other one. Okay, so let's keep going. We've got 9,000 BCE, 8,900 BCE. You've got still Fayum and Zarzian. Now, these are the two spots you're going to see change really soon. Okay, now it changes to pre-pottery. And now, if you notice, the numbers are not going down 1,000 years at a time anymore. They're going like every 200. So let's pay attention to that. Maybe I'll let it go 3 or 4. I'm just going to go slowly until I see Suavarian. So now in Europe, we've got the Azilian, Suavarian, and Swiderian advanced cultures that archaeologists have collected data on and prove that these cultures existed. So we're still, now we're after the cataclysmic era, so we're just going to go into the Bronze Age naturally. I'm going to stop at the Embryonic Civilization. When does Sumer become? Okay, 85. It's coming soon. Right now it's pre-pottery, whatever that means. Fayum still exists. 84. 83. Now we have something going on up here. 82. Now we have Newman. 81. Okay, some major changes down here. 8,000 BCE. Still no Sumer. Wow, still no Sumer. 7,800 BC. Magdalenian. 77. I think it's 75. Nope. But here in Turkey we have the Anatolian Neolithic. So Anatolian refers to Turkey. The location. Mesopotamia is called the land between two rivers. Wheat in Mesopotamia, 7,400. So that's when the so-called, when you're growing wheat that you, I guess you're growing a lot of it that you resell, you're trading it, then it gets noticed, right? They're not going to notice if somebody just grew enough wheat for themselves. But, yeah, they can prove that that's the beginning of the hunter-gatherer era ending. The so-called, by the way, I never really believed in that, but I do believe from 10,000 years ago until about here, hunter-gatherers were a thing. After a cataclysmic event. 72. 79. Wow. 65? Is it 65? There's a lot of changes under the corner of my eye. Ibero-Capson, and here where the Indus Valley later occurs, that would be 6600 BC. I think we're going to have the Sumer right now this next year. 65? No? So what do we have? Lead smelting in Anatolia, pigs domesticated in Asia, India enters Neolithic, Balkans enter Neolithic. The Balkans are right here. And I have to look up the term Neolithic again because I can't really understand. Let's look it up right now while we're on the subject because I want to know. Neolithic meaning. I know kind of what it means, right? But I want to know what they mean in archaeology. Relating or denoting to the later part of the Stone Age when ground or polished stone weapons and implements prevailed. The later part of the Stone Age. Okay, so pre-Bronze Age. Alright, where are we? Let's go back to this. Let's find the Sumerian culture. 64, 63, 62, 61, 6. Okay, so we have some changes here. Haluf and Ubaid. As you can see, we have Berbers in North Africa. Okay, there we go. Sumer, 55. Okay, so I was totally wrong. It's 7,500 years ago. 7,500 years ago, the Sumerians appeared with their embryonic civilization, and that lasted many, many years. Later, the Egyptians will start very soon as far as being embryonic. I'll just let it roll for a while, and I'll talk. If I have to stop it, I'll try to stop it. I can even rewind, right? This is the computer's player. It's very difficult to rewind. Okay, so I can tell you Anatolian Chalcolithic. That means copper. So that means the copper era. So this is Turkey's copper age. And we're still waiting for Egypt to catch up with their embryonic civilization, right? According to mainstream history. I mean, do I believe that... I mean, what is this Fayum? I don't know. They basically were prehistory. They didn't write. They didn't have the Egyptian writing. So here we are at 5,000. We're coming up to 5,000 BC. And we have basically still Sumer. Only Sumer. Still and only Sumer was the only... This is the only embryonic civilization for all this time, according to Alibi. Now, I have seen other timelines that show Sumer and Egypt started at the same time. You know, I'm very dependent on other people's knowledge when it comes to this. We have card, pottery, Neolithic in Greece. We have all these civilizations I've never heard of in Europe except for Ibero. I know what Ibero is a peninsula, right? The Iberian Peninsula. But all these names probably come from the researchers rather than... I mean, this is a good name, I understand that. But these other ones, linear pottery, I don't get it. It's this whole area. So linear pottery went across this whole area. Alcoholic fermentation in Egypt. So Egypt hasn't even shown up yet. And still they're saying... They're not even showing the name Egypt. So why did it show that it already started? See, there's a contradiction right there. Okay, Anatolian, nope, stayed the same, everything's the same. CT, Vinia, the Berbers are still the same. 4,300 BC, 4,350. Still waiting on Egypt to catch up. There we have now changed to the Mahdi. Oh, okay, so the Iranian Copper era, the age of copper in Iran. Pitcomware, have no idea what that means. Some type of a cooking accessory, maybe. I mean, we're talking about what they use, right? We're talking about the stuff. These are not even embryonic. These are advanced cultures. So you're finding probably the tools they used every day, their weapons, stone weapons, of course, but also I think things that are used in the kitchen. Still no Egypt. Isn't that amazing? That Sumer, according to Alibi, mainstream history buff, is oh look, something happened down in Africa. And by the way, I did cut off the oldest advanced culture, which was in Africa. It was the I forgot how to pronounce it. Give me a second. Okay, finally, it's still no Egypt. The word Egypt, not yet. Silk production in China. 3600 BCE. There were no smartphones. Okay, so this is a little slow. I should speed it up maybe. 3460, there's some big changes there. Something out in the middle of where Kazakhstan is now. and Uzbekistan, those Stani countries, finally gets one of their advanced cultures. But you've got big changes in Europe, a little bit going on in the English island, or what is now the UK British island. Something happening in Sweden, not much. It's pretty cold up there still. Okay, finally Egypt came and I didn't even notice it. So let's go back. I know, I feel stupid. 31? What is this? Okay, 34. Okay, so there, let's just wait again. This is all for my own reference. I like to actually narrate it as I see it because that can help me remember it. So we have even going down into Nubia with the Nile now, 3,200 Nubian Nile civilizations on the river. They're trying to imply Egypt proto-dynastic Egypt. There you go, Egypt 1. So it was basically 3,100 or 32. I have to double check that. 32. This is Egypt 1, and it actually is in the advanced civilization. So it just surpassed Sumer, which seems almost too incredible. What does that mean? How does Egypt surpass Sumer so quickly as far as being advanced? And now Sumer becomes an advanced civilization, 2,800. And we're going to start getting into the war stories, religious statues in Sumer, 365-day calendar in Egypt. And we're talking 4,700 years ago. Elam. Okay, so now you've got advanced civilizations popping up everywhere. Now, if you notice, there's like another hour. I'll show you the end. That's the end. I'm not going to play the whole thing. It's 40 minutes long. There's no way I'm going to play the whole thing. I'll click it back here, and I think I can stop it. See, now you can see how Egypt is spread out in 1877 BC. So we're talking 38 plus 20, so 3,900 years ago. So as you can see, if you want to know when the pyramids were built, you have to go to 2,500 BC. Then we'll see the Sphinx. I think we're going to see the pyramids. Let's go back to that. So according to mainstream history, now as far as I'm concerned, the body of the Sphinx has been there carved for more than 10,000 years. And I think it faced the constellation Leo as it came up during the spring equinox, as does, I think, Robert Schoch and even Graham Hancock, I would assume, although I'm not 100% sure. I haven't seen anything come out of Graham Hancock in a while. He was a little bit ill, so kind of worried about that. So yeah, getting back to this, I don't want to open up my spreadsheet, but between 8,000 and 10,000 years ago, the constellation Leo, we were in the age of Leo, according to Stellarium, which I don't trust 100%, but I think it's safe to say about 8,000 to 10,000 years ago was when Leo was the equinox constellation. Every morning, the sun would rise along the equinox, and it would be inside the constellation. So you've got the Bell Beaker here. I've heard a lot about it. Let's go back farther. I want to get back to the Sphinx and the pyramids. So I'm going to be looking up here at Society of Culture. Here's the Epic of Gilgamesh was completed. Okay, it changed. It's got to get back a little farther. It even speeds up. It even slows down even more. It's going 100, but it's going to go one at a time eventually. So here we are at 26. Let's just play it from here. Pyramid Sphinx begins production. Pyramid of Giza completed, 2530. So that's 4,500 years ago. Circle added to Stonehenge. Sphinx is completed. After the pyramid, which pyramid? Religious statues in Mari. So that whole thing about the Sphinx being completed, of course, what I believe was they created a new head for it, and they introduced it as the causeway entry decoration for the second pyramid in the middle, Khafre, not Khufu, but Khafre. So the Khafre pyramid causeway leads over to the Sphinx. Khafre still has a lot of casing stones attached to it. You can really see the mess that makes me feel that it really was human built. If you think aliens built the pyramids, I think you're wrong. All right, here we are, the Acadian Empire. So the Acadian Empire has kind of consumed Sumer, right? And Egypt is still not big. Okay, so that's pretty much my video. I'm kind of done. You can check out Ali Bai's History of the World every day. Just look it up on YouTube. I'll put the video link in later if I can, or you can comment and I'll give it to you if you really can't find it. I did rearrange it, so I shouldn't get any copyright infringing, but I wanted to focus mainly on these civilizations, but I still wanted the full-length video, so I just grabbed the different parts and put them in different spots. Maize cultivation in Mexico. Akkad is the largest city on Earth. Okay, there you go, Akkad. Where's Akkad at? Doesn't show it. All right. Any questions? I'm going to go check and see if there's any comments. Questions? Where's my... Anything? Nobody? Nobody. Oh. Boo-hoo-hoo. Alrighty. Well, I'm out of here. Thank you very much. I'm glad that it worked. I'm going to clip the beginning off. Talk to you again soon.